Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I do apologise. I have had a really slow week when it comes to content. Like, other than a couple of shorts throughout the week this week, I really haven't done anything. And I do apologise for that. Unfortunately, just it so happens that sometimes life gets in the way. It is what it is. This is how it happens, and this is how it goes. So I do apologise to you guys because I've been waiting a week now to make a new video, and it should have came out a lot sooner than it should because this news did break 48 hours ago. But as I said, stuff got in the way, and I do apologise for that. It is what it is sometimes. But yeah, without further ado, obviously, before I go any further, I just want to say that this is not a negative basketball page. Like, my intention with this page is to not basically shit on anybody's ideas whatsoever when it comes to the basketball world. I don't want to slander any players and just have negative media. That is not what I want to do with this page. I want to spread nothing but positivity from this page. But this needs to be talked about because Nico Harrison's time at the Dallas Mavericks was some of the worst basketball brain knowledge, whatever you want to call it. Some of the worst few years I think the Dallas Mavericks probably ever could have endured. Obviously, signed the deal in 2021, Nico Harrison gets brought over as the new basketball mind of the Dallas Mavericks. Because ever since Mark Cuban left and ever since this new family that came over and basically just brought the team because they're rich, is basically why they bought the team. Not because they like basketball, not because it was a good business thing for them. It's just because they were rich, so they were like, yes, let's buy the Dallas Mavericks from Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, we all know, was actually a good basketball mind. Mark Cuban went to all the games. He watched all of the games. He was supportive of everything that went on. He sort of had an idea of everything that was going on with his team. And my God, if you told Mark Cuban that we were going to trade Luka Doncic, if you told Mark Cuban that we were going to trade Luka Doncic, I think he probably would have flipped his nut. He never would have let it happen in a million years. But because this new family come in, they knew nothing about basketball and what it was for. Although, if you own a basketball team that has a generational talent on your roster, you should at least know that generational talent shouldn't go anywhere. That's just me. You don't have to know anything about basketball. You just need to know who is selling your tickets to games. And Luka Doncic sold tickets. So that trade obviously was the biggest part of his whole endeavors. Like, Nico Harrison provided, he made a couple of decent trades. The PJ Washington trade was a good one. And so was the Daniel Gafford trade. They were both actually positive impacts on this roster. Also bringing Kyrie Irving over, which Kyrie Irving I feel like was just the cover-up to the whole Jalen Brunson incident that went on, because they refused to sign Jalen Brunson for $50 million. And as soon as he didn't sign that deal, Jalen Brunson immediately became a superstar on the face of the New York Knicks, and Madison Square Garden was selling out every night because of Jalen Brunson. That's just what it was. But obviously, so that happens. Jalen Brunson leaves, Kyrie Irving comes in, and this team immediately becomes a finals run. Like, that team with Luka and Kyrie, Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively both sitting on the dunker spot day after day, it was a really well-constructed basketball team. You had your shooters, like, there was an in and out of shooters sort of with Dallas throughout the last couple of years. You had Dorian Finney-Smith for a while. Tim Hardaway was there for a while. Like, you had all these guys who were literally the perfect mold for Luka Doncic. were defenders on one side of the ball, and then on the offensive side of the ball, they didn't need to do anything but sit in the corner and shoot the three-point shot. And for a Luka Doncic-led team, that is exactly what you needed. The team was constructed well. It was firing on all cylinders. Nothing was wrong, other than there was rumours with off-court stuff with Luka not being in great shape and Luka not taking taking his workout seriously, that sort of nature. And then Nico Harrison said, yeah, nah. I would rather defense win championships. Because we know Luka Doncic, not the most amazing defender ever, but if you were that gifted on that offensive side of the ball, I don't care how bad you are on defense. But Nico Harrison had other ideas. He basically said that Luka's not fit enough. Luka doesn't want to play defense. And for that reason, you basically did a 1-for-1 swap for Anthony Davis, who, I don't know if Nico Harrison's been watching the league for the last 10 years. I don't want to say anything bad about Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis, we obviously know, is a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the best players of all time. Top 75 team, all that sort of good stuff. But we also know that Anthony Davis is not a healthy body. The entirety of Anthony Davis' career, other than that 1 year at the Lakers where he played 75 or so games, he has been injury-riddled year after year after year. Barely been able to stay on the court. Always has an issue with his legs, his arms, his chest, just everything. And Nico Harrison thought he was a better idea than a slightly overweight Luka Doncic. How that makes sense, I will never know. I probably still will never know. Fast forward today, what do you know? Anthony Davis is injured again. They've got nothing to go to. Kyrie Irving is slowly developing off his Achilles injury that he had. He probably won't be back for another 4 months or 5 months or however long it will be. Anthony Davis is out until further notice. We don't know. Cooper Flagg, the one shining light of the whole Dallas Mavericks situation was the Cooper Flagg thing. But as much as I'm enjoying watching Cooper Flagg so far this season, I don't think he's going to be generational like Luka Doncic. That's just what I think. I think Luka is he's going to finish as one of the best basketball players to ever play basketball. And I don't think Cooper Flagg's ceiling is quite that high. He is a really gifted player on both sides of the basketball, don't get me wrong. But I just don't trust it as I did Luka Doncic. So we'll see how it goes. But that's how I see it. And long story short, the team sucks at the moment. Cooper Flagg is showing himself to be a decent basketballer, but the rest of the team sucks. Klay Thompson, who is a former Warrior, I had never had anything bad to say about Klay Thompson in my entire life. Klay Thompson can't hit a goddamn jump shot. And that, for 99% of Klay Thompson's career, that has been who he's known for. And I made a video earlier in the season where I spoke about Klay Thompson being one of the keys to the Dallas Mavericks because they didn't really have a two-guard shooter. The Dallas Mavericks so far, 11 games in, do not have a two-guard shooter. Klay Thompson's barely a basketballer at this point. He has had a really, really big fall from grace. And it sucks to see because I love Klay Thompson, and Klay Thompson gave my team majority of its success for the last 15 years. It hurts to watch. And obviously, we can't really speak too much on Nico Harrison because we never saw the Nico Harrison constructed team in its full picture, right? Like, we saw Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis share the court together for, I think it was 10 minutes. Because Anthony Davis got hurt in his first game as a Maverick, which he played about 10 minutes, and then Kyrie went out a few games later with the ACL or Achilles, or I forget which one it was. So, obviously, we're never going to see that team with Nico Harrison behind it. I expect Dallas to be buyers coming up to the deadline this season because the team needs to turn around at some point soon. It's too hard of a team to watch that we can't just sit there and let it happen, basically. So it's really sad, but it's the reality of it. But yeah, it's just, I can't give the full, feeling and emotion towards it because I'm not quite a Dallas Mavericks fan. But even I am just annoyed at the entire situation and how it is all unfolded. Because if I was a Dallas Mavericks fan, they haven't sold out an arena. They sold out arenas for 20 plus years, and all of a sudden they can't sell out an arena. And I wonder why that is. There has been Fire Nico chants. There has been people burning Luka Doncic jerseys. There has been people rioting the streets of Dallas because Luka Doncic was traded. And if you are that family that owns owns that team, how can you buy a team and know that you are getting rid of the only person that is getting you ticket sales on a day-to-day basis? Makes no sense to me. I can't wrap my head around it. And it's finally over. Nico Harrison he's moving on. Apparently the Kings are thinking about taking him on, which if the Kings were to do so, I would have a couple of questions. But it's all over. But I think the lasting burn of the Luka Doncic trade will sit with the Dallas Mavericks for probably the entire of Luka's career. Because Luka's not coming back. And I think people are going to struggle to get that through their head. Is Luka probably will not put a Dallas Mavericks jersey on ever again. And Luka wanted to keep wearing the Dallas Mavericks jersey. All the fans wanted Luka Doncic to keep the jersey. It's sickening. It really is. It's one of the strangest business decisions I think I've ever seen. And the fan base isn't going to get over it. Every time Luka wins an MVP, people are going to say he's meant to be doing this for Dallas. Every time Luka's going to win a championship, Dallas fans are going, he could have done it for us. It's all it's going to be for the entire of Luka's career. And I really feel bad for Dallas Mavericks fans. It is what it is. And I mean, the fan base is going to have to move on eventually. I hope they do find more positive pastures on the other side. Because, it's a good fan base. And from what you saw, it is a very loyal fan base. They did not want to move on from Luka Doncic. There was probably some fathers that would rather sell their children than not watch Luka Doncic in a Dallas jersey. You could go on forever with it. I could literally sit here and make a whole podcast episode over it, but it just is so much to unpack, and it's just ridiculous. Nico's gone. I hope the team rebuilds. This is the time to just hit the reset, get new ownership in, get new players in, and just completely restart. Because I think that's the best thing they can do for the franchise. Regardless, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I do apologize about me missing so much time. I really do. I'm back at it now, though. The short form will come back again. These videos are coming back again. And yeah, I'm just going to continue pumping them out. So sorry about that, but I am here now, so we'll continue on. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments about this whole situation, because it is ridiculous. One of the weirdest stretches of an NBA basketball team I think I've ever seen. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in another couple of days. And until then, keep enjoying the hoops. Thank you guys.